It's a brand new season, baby. Touchdown, 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 touchdown. It's a brand new season, been a long wait. Saw some players up, put them on my highlight tape. College series here, gotta hear my name on draft day. AR in the pocket, automatic, that's a closed case. Excitement building up, I ain't been asleep in 3 days. Gotta make a statement to the scouts on the first play. Only way to win, you gotta dominate in each phase. Offense, defense, and can't forget the special teams. I ain't work for nothing, went through summer camp with 2-a-days. Gotta win the natty, only satisfied with first place. I hear them haters hating on my team, but I ain't hearing them. If they line up on the other side, then we ain't fearing them. One false move, hit stick, defense killing them. Knew them boys were sweet, up inside, banana peeling them. We up next, time to show we the best around. RFL, college series, rep your team and rep your town. You're looking at the future of the league, yeah, it's here and now. Step on the field, boy, you best believe it's going down. Cause yeah, you know we scoring. Touchdown, 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 touchdown.
What's good, Relocation Football League fans? Apparently we had a crash right in the beginning of the game. Wow, that sucks. Just about to get right into that game. And let's go ahead and see if we can, probably got to take this scoreboard off. So I'm going to just do that just in case. There'd be something wrong with that. Man, as soon as the game started, crash. Man, that's one thing you got to worry about with PC. But before we do get into this, I'll go ahead and just put this screen up. I do want to introduce, for our first time making his debut as a color commentator here with me, it's Pecan, my co-host that's on the RFL College Series podcast. You've seen the last 2 episodes, man. How are you doing? And what's your thoughts coming into this game? Anything you want to talk about with your excitement?
Smitty, I am doing great, and I am so excited to be here to call this game tonight. Florida and the Auburn Tigers, man, it should be a fun one to watch for my very first ever game. I'm ready to see AR 15, man. I'm a Colts fan, so I'm very excited to see how he's going to play tonight. So this should be a very fun game to watch. Yeah,
he had quite the game against Baylor for the win, man. 21 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. We could go a little bit into some things we're going to talk about at the beginning of this game while this thing loads up. But College Series 1, Auburn victorious 25-18. College Series 2, of course, that's kind of lost right now in the files. Don't have the scores for that. College Series 3 and 4 has been all Florida, who's won those 2 games. In 3, they won 25-17, and in 4, which was just last season, 34-23. We already talked on the podcast about who we thought would be victorious in this game, and I believe both of us went with Florida in this one. But what would you say is the keys to the game coming into this matchup, really, for both sides?
So for the Florida side of the ball, I would say just keep the ball in AR's hand, let AR be AR, but also do not try and get down early in the fourth. You don't want to make that a habit throughout the whole entire year. Try and take it advantage, and on the defensive side, I would say to lock Spears down and make Dom Beck beat you. Now, on the Auburn side, I will have to say for them, keep the ball out of Dom Beck's hand and give it to Spears and let him run. And if I'm on the defensive side, I would say that the linebackers really need to key on AR and keep him not running all over him, not running all over them, just like he did a week ago against the Baylor squad. He ran for 110 yards last week. Auburn needs to keep him under 50 yards in this game.
And that's going to be tough, man, especially when they go in that man-to-man coverage deal. I guess this thing is still loading at the moment. We could go ahead and get a look for you guys to see what's coming up for the rest of this week. Tomorrow, I do have the graphic already made for that, which I'll flash right now. Tomorrow, we have a rematch from last year's upset as Texas takes on Alabama. Should be pretty interesting there. Both of these teams able to walk out victorious in close games. In week 1, Texas was able to defeat Clemson 20-16, and then Alabama, who we expected them to win by a larger amount, still ended up winning by at least 2 scores, and the final score was 24-10 against UCLA. So that should be a pretty interesting game to watch tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Then, of course, we get the rest of the games to look forward here. Washington versus UCLA, Maryland versus West Virginia, Florida State and North Carolina, Penn State, Louisville. It's a bunch of games here to look forward to. This game's still loading up, guys. So, man, we just sit here and wait. But any key games, I guess, that's one thing we didn't talk about in the podcast. What key game really sticks out to you that you would advise viewers right now to tune into this week?
There are 2 games really in that 4 p.m. window on Saturday that I think that are going to be really fun to watch. The first one will be the Penn State and Louisville game. Both of them are coming into this game 1-0, and both of them on the defensive side of the ball only allowed 8 combined points. I'm very excited to see how that game is going to be played. And then, of course, we have the Texas A&M Aggies, who had the impressive upset against the Oklahoma Sooners, as they will be going to Miami, facing off against the number 2 team in the Miami Hurricanes. As far as the live games, besides, the one that I'm definitely the most excited about, I'm really intrigued to see how this Alabama and Texas game is going to go tomorrow night. I think it should be a better game from what we saw on both sides last week. So, yeah, I'm excited, man. It's going to be a very fun weekend of college ball.
Yeah, and we're about to get into the game. Game finally loaded up here. I'm going to go ahead get these teams set. Here's a look at the top 25 rankings once again for guys who didn't see it. This was also posted on social media, so make sure if you're not following us on social media, you go ahead and tune in, give us a follow on those accounts, and keep up to date with the latest that's going on in the RFL, around the RFL College Series. Still a fresh season, man. Week 1, we're just now getting in week 2, so a lot more college football to go here as we set these teams up. Let me know in the chat who you guys got winning this one. Florida or Florida State? Or Auburn, excuse me. So
yeah, we got to wait 12 more weeks for that.
Yeah, that'll be a matchup to watch.
Very excited to see how Florida's going to play tonight, especially against a Auburn team. I mean, Auburn, they only allowed 99 rushing yards last week to Jordan Duke. So how are they going to play in this game? Because even though AR can run the ball, they also have the generic running back in Antoine Streets, who rushed for 13 carries and 66 yards and had the game winner last week. So it's going to be very intriguing to see. And as we see with this rain, they are going to have to run the ball.
Yeah, it's going to be a rainy night here in Auburn, and boy, like I said, I used real time to figure out, what the weather is going to be, and they said it's raining heavy out there at Jordan Air Stadium, and boy, is it coming down here. Auburn going to be kicking this ball off to Florida to start this game off. And it might be just if this game does crash again, it might be due to the weather, but we'll see. But this game's going to jump right into it as Florida will kick this one off to Auburn. We're right into this game as Auburn will take this one from the 9. And yeah, it might be an issue with the rain here, guys. And they'll get out to the 31-yard line. Yeah, it's looking a bit choppy. If this continues, I'm going to make sure to just get rid of the weather. We might not be able to have any rain games for the season. But Don Beck coming out onto the field. It was a rough week 1 game for him, Pecan.
Very rough week. He threw three picks, only a touch a down. You know, this is a guy who's trying to look for some redemption in this game against this Florida Gators defense that allowed over 300 passing yards. So let's see how he does.
Very first play, they'll line up in the gun. You talked about utilizing Spears, but they'll come out here looking to pass first play, and they're going to take a shot. Got a man. He makes the catch, and Auburn is going to score the very first play. Touchdown, Tigers.
Unbelievable. Not what we were expecting at all. They came out from the very start and said, we are throwing it. We are not going to run. We are going straight to you guys, to the generic. TJ Holcomb with the touchdown catch. Wow.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we already know about this Auburn field, which has all kinds of glitches apparently today. We're not going to be able to get any instant replays, if any at all, because you got that invisibility thing glitch going on. But, wow, a statement off the rip to start this game. They just bomb it. And Auburn.
Yes, they heard that we were saying the whole entire week, you know, to keep the ball out of Dom Beck's hand, and I think he heard us there, Smitty.
Yeah. Definitely seemed to put a chip on his shoulder, and that makes at least 2 touchdown passes for him on the season. One more away from equaling up his interceptions he threw from a week ago. But, wow, what a start for the Tigers. Now it's Florida's chance to try to make a statement. Just as great to knot things up at 7 when they get the football here.
We want to see how Florida is going to answer back. I mean, very first play of the game, and it's a bomb for a score. You know, AR and that offense are just wanting to get on this field and make a statement from the very first drive.
And this will be returned from about the 3-yard line down the middle. He goes to about the 25. And it's getting some choppiness going on, but it looks like it's getting better as the game goes on. And here's AR-15, as you talked about. Right now, Indianapolis Colt, but still in the college series for the RFL, it's Anthony Richardson.
279 yards, a touchdown and a pick, and of course it is expected to bring up that this man ran for 110 yards and had 3 touchdowns on the ground and pretty much led this team back in the 4th quarter to tie the game. And I'm very excited to see how he's going to show up in this game. Can we get an encore from him?
We'll see. Here's a throw towards the sidelines. That's going to be off the mark. Maybe the rain had a little something to do with it. Had a man wide open. And it'll be 2nd down for the Gators.
It's this guy there. He just needs to stay patient and look for that guy a lot sooner than later, I will say.
Shout out to the RFL community. Up to 50 live viewers here strong. We got an NFL game going on with the Jets and the Browns. But once again, preseason, I don't think too many people are interested in that game. But shout out to the guys tuning in the RFL College Series. Inside play action as Anthony Richardson. Here he is utilizing his legs. Oh, he still stays on his feet and falls about a few yards short of the first down. It's 3rd and 3.
Yeah, that guy's slipping. This is going to be something to watch as well. Is this field, our guys going to be slipping and falling all around, and that really could be a big key for AR's game.
And Richardson will fire. He's got a man. A big first down for Florida. He's going to connect there to Brandon Hawkins. That's a generic wide receiver. 13 yards.
Yeah, if you guys want to know, this is a Florida team that has a bunch of generics on their team. So I know a lot of draft A lot of draft coaches need to look out for this team.
Yeah, in Florida, they had I think everyone was draftable last year on their team, so this is a team that's always had a lot of prospects to view. And here's a run inside, and he almost breaks free. Touchdown saving tackle right there. He'll get into Tigers territory for a big first down.
Is that the backup running back? Is that Streets?
It looks like it was Streets on the play. And listed here as 5, but wearing number 2. And of course, we're not going to get an instant replay exactly who that is, but really good solid run inside for the Gators. And this is just a game, you know, just based off the conditions. You really want to keep it on the ground. Let's see if they keep this up throughout this drive. They will run it here, it seems. Yes. And he is still on his feet. That's a nice run. Yeah, that's Streets.
Pretty good run for Streets there. He's just trying to find the holds and plug away. This is what Florida wants to do, is pound that rock.
Running the football effectively here. A nice 8-yard gain on first down. Always love to have that. Some play action. Richardson out of there. He's going to get caught right before he picks up the first down. It'll be 3rd and inches. That's the second time Wooden has been able to stop him from really taking off.
I looked really close to it first. I thought he had the first down there. I thought that was really, really close. I think they should have gave it to him.
Yeah, got to extend out. I think just wanted to make sure he didn't lose control of the football, so he kind of tucked it. And that just had him here inches short on 3rd down. Had some good runs out of Street so far. We'll see if they'll hand it off to him on this next play. They'll come out under center in the bunch. And they will run Streets, who's got a nice lane and a first down for the Gators.
What a good run by Streets. But look at that O-line getting the blocks. That they need to give him just an easy play for him to make to get the first.
Yeah, get an instant replay look at this. They will at least have that instant replay. He has a nice lane for him. Really didn't have to try too hard for that. I mean, everyone is pushed back behind the first down marker. That's how good of a push the offensive line up front got.
Donahue and Richardson putting in a lot of work to get him those key blocks to get him the first.
Anthony Richardson will look to pass, and again, he's got his second incompletion. Both, I think, affected by the rain. 1 for 3, second down.
Very shocking there that he hasn't been able to connect, because those are some easy throws to make. They are wide open too. Like, it's not like that they're in coverage. He's just missing them.
We'll see if he can connect on this next play as they'll look to pass. Almost throws an interception. And that is going to bring up 3rd down for the Gators.
I guess that's why you say that he plays on the defensive side, right, and not on the offensive side.
And again, you know, just never know. In different conditions, maybe things would be a lot more cleaner right now. But expect a lot of potential errors to happen within this game. We even see that in the RFL. Richardson's just going to check this down. And Streets well short of the first down. They're going to have to kick the field goal. Auburn will get possession back while maintaining the lead.
He only had one catch a week ago, so very interesting there that he went with the check down. But I guess after missing 2 wide open throws, might as well play it safe.
And we're going to look to see if there's anything potentially down the field from the replay. Don't see any receivers. And so he just took it upon himself to try to see if Streets can extend and create a play to move the chains. Definitely wasn't going to happen. Good defense there in the red zone by the Tigers.
Here comes the pain.
Yeah, Florida able to cut this deficit to 4, as the score will be 7-3.
Pretty good first drive by the Florida Gators there. You know, they didn't get 6, but they were able to drive down the field, use that running game to their advantage, and they got some points on the board. Now it's time to go back out there and try to get a stop.
Shout out to the RFL community once again. As always, got to give shout out to you guys. If you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to Relocation Football League if you are new. Also, you can see at the bottom right side of the corner of the screen, That's where you can go ahead and visit our website, learn more about the league if you're new, and our other social media handles so that you can follow and stay up to date with the league. Florida is going to kick this one off to about the 8-yard line. So a fairly short one, and it's going to be a fumble that will be recovered by the Gators inside the 20.
Wow.
And now they may take the lead with this possession.
Wow, let's see how it looks on this play, but great kickoff coverage here. The guy just gets in there and just blows him up to get that. Man, that's not what you want if you're Auburn.
And unfortunately, no instant replay here. Man, can't wait for Auburn to have away games. This is pretty terrible.
You already know that their field doesn't work well when it comes to the instant replays, and now we have the rain too, so it just adds on.
Yeah. Looks like they got a few instant replays. We were able to get some pictures from that Tennessee game last week. But Florida with an opportunity to take the lead here if they can score a touchdown. Richardson getting pressure, gets outside, tries to put on a move, and that's a great open field tackle by Papo.
Pretty good defense right there, but AR doing AR things. This is what Auburn needs to not have him do a lot. Only gets 1 yard, and that's what you're going to need Papo to do. The man had 12 tackles a week ago.
And here goes a completion over to the left, middle side of the field. They'll bring up a manageable 3rd and 4. So Darius Woodard, the generic wide receiver, hauling his first catch of the day for 5 yards.
I had 7 catches for 77 yards. They're definitely going to have to get him the ball a lot more too.
Anthony Richardson, he's out of there, breaks the tackle to the end zone. Touchdown, Gators. What a play, and this is what he did last week. This is what he did to be a number 1 overall draft pick for the Colts, and wow, Gators got the lead.
Just like I said, man, this is what Florida wants AR to do the whole entire game. Just go out there and be yourself and take care of this game whenever you can. And they are putting the game in his hands. And as you see, just had a clear hole, pretty much in zone coverage there, just had all the space in the world.
Excellent finish to the run, and that's one thing Anthony Richardson does differently than a lot of quarterbacks. You know, of course, extra points good here, 10-7. But, of course, a lot of quarterbacks looking to protect themselves, not looking to, lose the football. He's not afraid to put his body on the line and stretch that football. We've seen him even score that same way against Baylor last week, and he's already got his 4th rushing touchdown of the season.
We could have a quarterback leading in rushing touchdowns this year if he continues to play like the way that he is playing.
And that also puts a lot of pressure on the SEC because Florida's always been a pretty tough team, that you definitely never wanted to take lightly in the college series. But they just, of course, were always still middle of the pack. But if this is the type of play they're going to get that's going to keep them in games, this could be a dangerous team to try to keep out of the conference championship. Look at this return out to about the 31-32 yard line. And we're going to look at Don Beck and the guys again. Last time they touched the field, threw the ball up. And it was a touchdown, so this will only be their 2nd play of the game.
1 play, 69 yards. That's all they needed for the very first play of the game. Let's see them answer back because they didn't get the ball the last time. So let's see this Auburn offense answer back.
It was a huge shot down the field. Safety was over there, but I guess he thought he was going to get an interception or something. And receiver jumped up, was able to snag it. Mike Spears getting his first carry of the game, and physical finish to the run, but only a few yards for Spears.
Yeah, if I'm Auburn, this is what you're going to have to do the whole entire game. Give it to Spears and pound that rock with him. Don't try to go east and west. Go north and south with Spears.
Come out in the trips, look to left side, motioning Spears out the backfield for an empty set. Don Beck will throw. He's got a completion, and he steps out of bounds before getting up for a first down. It'll be a yard short. It's 3rd and 1.
Pretty good throw there. The Gators were in man. That's, where you want the out routes to be against man, and he took advantage of it right there on that route. Pretty good route and pretty good pass by Beck there.
Quick throw into the flats here. Nice read. First down for Auburn.
Yeah, as you see, the cornerbacks are giving the wide receivers a lot of space, but instead he decides to go to the outside instead. Pretty good play in there to get the first.
Disciplinary issues here. You see a lineman hitting his chest saying, hey, it's my fault. Ball starts going to back up. This offense, 5 yards.
That's kind of the last thing that you want to see, especially after making a first down and against a team that we know that can score. You don't want to have any drive stall out from having penalties, as they are known to be drive killers in this game.
Once again, they'll line him up under center. Realize I had the traffic still going. Here's going to be the first sack of the game. It's going to be Lee. And now lose him 4 more yards to bring up 2nd and 19.
Big man Jalen Lee, number 92, the defensive tackle. He just pushes the offensive lineman aside and was able to get back there to bring Dom Beck down. This is a Florida team that can sack and get pressures on you, so this is going to be a thing to watch for any time that they are throwing.
And more than likely, Auburn's going to need to throw on this next down. If they don't get the first down, definitely will need to throw the next if they're not close enough. They'll come out here in the gun looking to pass. Wide open over the middle. He's able to strike on the spot route. And back 4 for 4, but facing a 3rd and 12.
Yeah, that was just one of those, just get me some yards to get us kind of in a better 3rd and long, manageable position. They weren't really going for the deep route there, just kind of get us back some of those yards that we have lost on the penalty and the sack.
3rd and 12, trying to check it down to a wide open Spear to see if he could create a play, but off the mark. Like I said, maybe they would have missed these throws in wouldn't have missed these throws in clearer conditions, but the rain definitely showing its effects on some plays here.
Yeah, it looks like Spears kind of lost his footing there on the route. I definitely think it's probably the rain having some effect on field.
No fair catch called here. We'll get to the 22, I'll say about. Brandon Hawkins also doing kick returns. And after 10 unanswered points by Florida, they're able to kick a field goal, force the fumble on special teams on the kickoff, score off of that with an AR-15 touchdown run. Now here they are looking to try to extend their unanswered points totals.
If I'm Florida, I wouldn't want to change anything about this game. Just keep doing of what you are doing and keep that ball in AR's hands and let him do whatever it is that he needs to do.
Totally agree here as he'll line up in the gun and ball start by the right guard here for Florida.
This could be another thing to watch out for, especially with the rain. You know, this is where you start to make those mental mistakes is when that rain is starting to come down. So this is big.
So I'll push him back 5 yards. 1st and 15 now for Gators.
If I'm Auburn, you just got pretty much something that you can ask for.
Play action. It looks like he's going to take smooth off and slides to avoid the contact. That's about 6 to 7 yards there. They'll say 7. And this will make it a 2nd and 8.
Pretty much he sees he has no one open down the field, and AR is like, you know what, let me just do what I'm going to do, and that's run this ball, and was able to get himself some really good yards.
Send a wide receiver screen, and it is executed to perfection. Almost gets out of there. That is probably the best receiver screen I've seen in the college series. It actually worked out perfectly for Ladarius Woodard.
Pretty great play execution there. You got all the blocks that you want on a screen there, and he was able to find that hole and was able to almost break off a tackle to get a long score.
Play action here for Richardson again, taking off, throws a guy to the floor, but he fumbles the football himself after a big hit, and Auburn has a foot race to the end zone. He's going to be stopped a yard short as Riley will have the Tigers at the 1.
Oh, man. Auburn got the answer that they need in this game. This could be huge going forward. Wow. Was not expecting that. As just like we were saying, Smitty, this rain is an equalizer, too.
Yeah, that definitely have a higher likelihood of losing that football. Things getting slippery out there, and Auburn just a yard away from taking their lead back here. And as we talked about before this game,
give it to Spears. Give it to Spears here. This is prime Spears territory.
And the gun, though, a bunch to the left, looking to pass with Dom Beck. And he will throw to the sidelines. Touchdown, Auburn.
Great route, and what a great catch there, too. Who is that? I'm trying to see. Yep. That's the generic right there. Pretty great route on the out route to the end zone, and was able to get his feet up for the touchdown. I'm pretty surprised they didn't go with Spears, but what a great call there by the Auburn Tigers.
And Dom Beck surprisingly starting the game out with 2 touchdown passes. Now it's got the same amount of tutties as Ince on the season. And TJ Holcomb only had 2 catches, 59 yards just last week. That's a great total for the amount of catches he had. But already half the amount of catches he had in that game as the extra point is up. It's good. And Auburn will take the 4-point lead back again, 14-10.
Auburn got exactly what they needed to after having to punt, and then they get the turnover on the very next drive to get the ball out of AR's hand, and was able to get all the way downfield and get a score. If I'm the Auburn Tigers now, you start to feel like you have some momentum there and build off of that.
And Auburn, the only SEC team to lose last week. Of course, they fell short to Tennessee, 41-23, and they're looking to try to even things up in not only their regular season record, but their conference record at 1-1. As the Gators, they started out 1-0 themselves. Richardson coming out onto the football field, going to display a couple of highlights. That's if it's even replayable.
If it even shows, especially on this field.
They did show that touchdown run. That was fire. Ah, but here he goes. Everything else.
Yep, there we go. We were waiting for that.
Yeah.
But still, man, hey, if I'm Florida, though, I do not want to change anything. Just keep doing of what you are doing. Auburn has only scored off of a 1-play drive. I don't think that that's going to happen for them the whole entire game. So if I'm Florida, do not change who you are and keep doing of what you know how to do.
So 1st and 10 coming up here for the Gators. Just lost the football and gave up a touchdown. The very next play, throw the streets out the backfield, trying to knock the ball out of his hands. That'll be a solid 7-yard gain on 1st down.
That's what you need after having the fumble on the drive. Pretty good angle route there by the running back Streets, as he was able to get himself some yardage there to take advantage of the zone coverage that Auburn was in.
Motion into the bunch here from the left. Richardson's got a wide open man. And a 1st down for the Gators. Out to about the 43-yard line.
Wide open, had all the space in the world. He was on a slant there and was able to just find his man for the easy 1st down. Pretty good play there by Kevin Amos.
The guy who had only 2 catches last week, and speaking of 2, number 2 gets the carry here, and he'll just be stuffed at the line. He's got 32 yards on 4 carries so far here tonight.
That was a good play by their left outside linebacker, Iko Leota, who had 6 tackles a week ago. Pretty good stop there for him to plug in that hole and, not let him get any yards.
Wow, and they get this screen off, almost converts it to a 1st down. That's about a 9-yard gain. It is a 9-yard gain. Turning out a 3rd and 1. Great job by Anthony Richardson hanging in there to get that pass off.
Almost had the sack there, but they were just able to get that ball off just in time. Now they are facing a good 3rd and 1 here. I expect AR to take this ball, get a 1st down if that's what I'm doing.
The lineup in the gun. And before they can snap the football, that is going to be the end of the first quarter. Man, how exciting was that quarter, man? We got 24 total points on the board. Auburn with the lead, though, 14-10. 3 more quarters to go. Put your twos up in the chat.
How about Auburn? 1-play drives on each of their scoring drives, too.
Yeah, so definitely got to give their offense credit so far, starting on this game, especially in these conditions. But Florida will come out slot receiver to the right side under center. What will look to pass? Richardson will complete it out for a first down to the 35.
Pretty good pass there. We were seeing that earlier. He was having trouble with those little short routes and couldn't find the guy, but he was able to complete the pass there. Pretty good play called there by the Florida Gators.
One of his favorite targets is looking like so far was Ladarius Woodard. Had 7 catches for 77 yards last week. All's in his 3rd in this game in this second quarter.
Draftable as well, if you guys want to know.
And here's Richardson again underneath. Back out to Woodard. It's a solid 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6.
Florida looks like that they are going to go with the dink and dunk passing game here. They haven't really tried any shots down field, so it looks like that they are going to try and just dink and dunk all the way out throughout this field, especially if Auburn's going to be playing in this zone coverage that they have been playing in. But on that play, that was man.
And they run the football straight up the gut, halfback dive. And make it a 3rd and 2, so a manageable 3rd down here. And this is what makes these situations is kind of what makes it dangerous when you try to predict what Florida's going to do, right? Because they could come out here in the gun, they could run out the gun, they could look to pass out the gun, and then if everything's covered, AR can just take off. So you really don't know what you're going to get out of this offense. All I know is Auburn's got to be prepared.
Yeah, Auburn just needs to be ready for whatever Florida's going to throw at them, because it feels like on all 3 phases they have it.
And this is really what's going to kill Florida, as false start will back them up. And they were just in that shotgun formation that I talked about, where you wouldn't have known what they were going to get. Now it's more predictable for this Auburn defense to expect a pass on 3rd and 7.
That's kind of been Florida's MO. They have been able to get those that 3rd and short for almost the whole entire game. Now they finally got them in a 3rd and long.
Shotgun for Richardson. Richardson looking, throws, got a man wide open over the middle for a huge Gators first down inside the red zone.
As I just said, at what point are they going to take a deep shot down the field? And as you see there, Kevin Amos down there in the middle of the field. Good pass there by AR, and pretty good route there by Kevin Amos.
And that penalty turning out not to affect the Gators. Like I said, you get a little bit eerie when it comes to passing in these conditions, because you know it can happen. But right now, for the most part, we've seen some misses, but guys still be able to complete some fairly decent pass depth and passes within this game. Here's, oh wow, what a cutback up the field. That is a 1st and goal for Florida, as he's got 41 yards already here in this first half.
If I'm Auburn, this is not what you're wanting him to do, is scramble all over you. You know they had to watch that Baylor game from a week ago and said, this is what we need to take away from their game, but this is what Florida wants to do.
I think this is kind of almost how everyone expected that Richardson really played at Florida, even though he was a great scrambler in real life. But and he might really be able to take this Florida team somewhere in the college series.
They haven't been to the playoffs since CS1.
Yeah. And you know who led that offense? Almost got in the end zone right there. Fell 2 yards short. But that CS1 Florida team went all the way to the national championship game and ultimately lost to Clemson. Was led by none other than Marquise Washington, who we know is killing it with the Columbus Aviators.
AR is looking for his 2nd touchdown of the game. He got really close there. It looks like they are trying to play right on the sticks to not let him through.
And he'll throw, and he had him, but just a little bit too far. Let out for an incompletion. 3rd and goal here. What do you expect Florida does?
Run with AR. If I'm Florida, man, it's 3rd and goal. Put the hands in your best player, and that is obviously AR.
He's going to be under center here, looking to pass, which could turn into a run. He's just going to throw it away, surprisingly. And that'll bring up 4th down. Shocked he didn't take off.
Yeah, this is something that Auburn is going to need Florida to do the whole entire game, is just not complete those passes. It looks like the short passing game may
they're
be...
going for it.
Oh.
And they will let him look to pass again. He throws in a double coverage, man. That's an awful read there by Richardson. And that drive comes up empty-handed.
If I'm Auburn, this is what you need. Get the turnovers, as that is... Who is that? Owen Papoli. Papoli gets a pick. Big pick there. If I'm Florida, I would have liked to just take the points there.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if it's the rain, he couldn't see him because it's so heavy out here, but I mean, that guy was sitting there, him along with another defender. It just was a poor read there by Richardson.
Yeah, you cannot make that throw.
A 4-point ball game now as Auburn looks to try to extend their lead. Still got so much time left to go in this game, so we don't know how this is going to turn out, but that first quarter was very entertaining. Second quarter, got some action going on, and Spears will get the carry. A cutback runs right into a hit stick there.
Pretty good run there. As you saw, the left lane just closed immediately. There was a gap there for a minute, and he decides to go back into the middle where there was a bit of a hole. A pretty good solid run to at least not lose any yards.
And he was met there by their tackling leader last week in that Baylor game, George Chamberlain, who's also a generic. 10 tackles, he had a sack and a forced fumble. Almost probably could have forced one there as hard as you hit him. Empty set, Dom Beck wide open underneath, but a good job securing the tackle.
That was a pretty good pass there as he finds TJ Holcomb to get some yards.
I talked about he was the guy who led the tackle. Actually, he was second in team. The guy who led the team in tackles is the guy who made that tackle right there, and that's Pat Forney, another generic linebacker. He had 16 tackles last week, and a forced fumble as well.
This Florida team is racked up on generics on the defensive side of the ball too. Pretty good generics.
Yeah, thrown to the flats. Great read here. Not sure what Spears was doing, but does manage to find his way up forward to advance for a first down.
Almost makes a mental mistake there, as Auburn would have been shooting themselves in the foot there if they didn't get the first, as Spears had so much field there.
Yeah, that ball a little bit high for Spears, but does get the job done.
With that, nobody wide open down the field, so he just checks it down, and Spears was able to get the first down.
Punch to the right side, no pitch it out there. He's got some good blocks, breaks a tackle. Spears will be stopped about 4 yards short. I'll say 3 yards short after a 7-yard gain.
Pretty good run as he breaks off the first tackle, and as he said, he will not be denied, and Spears through the Florida defensive player to get him at least 7 yards. Pretty good run there to the right by Spears.
And a throw over the middle, wide open. He's got a player for a big first down gain. And Auburn, man, they're playing some football here tonight as he's able to connect with Javarius Johnson.
Don Beck has been impressive in this game. I really like his poise, as we see the Florida defense is getting some pressure on this Auburn O-line. But Don Beck, after facing a tough Tennessee team, he's not afraid of this Florida defense.
And shout out to Peyton Van Vecken saying, hey, is this Pecan's first commentated game? It sure is, man. Let's get hashtag Pecan in chat, doing a great job. And this is a great job here by the defense, as that'll be a loss of a yard on the play. Absolutely leveled.
Yeah, Florida playing pretty tight coverage down the field. There wasn't really anyone open there on the play, so he had to go quick. So this is something that I brought up just a play ago, is that Florida is getting pressure on this O-line, so they are going to need to force that ball out of Dom Beck's hands quick.
He's definitely been aware and making the right decisions so far, but can he do it for 4 quarters? Always the question. Consistency is key. Won't be able to connect on that play, though. Only his second interception. 3rd and 11 for the Tigers.
Just like we said, this rain is going to play a factor. We had a guy up top just lose his footing there. So obviously we are seeing that this rain is having an effect on this game and the field of play.
Big 3rd down for Auburn. Dom Beck. Pressure's coming. Down, he's going to go for a sack. And that'll bring up a 4th and 24. Got to play the
Yeah, it just feels like the interior of this offensive line is having trouble with Jalen Lee and Jervon Dex. Or these guys are getting through, and this is something that they're going to have to take advantage of the whole entire game.
And you will see a lot of quarterbacks taking sacks as opposed to the pro series and throwing the football away. No fair catch called again. And the offense will take over at about the 30-yard line. Another opportunity for Florida to try to grab the lead. Once again, for anybody who is new to the Relocation Football League, we got some more action. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, as we have Texas taking on Alabama. Should be a great game. Once again, tomorrow night, that game will be live, and I'll be back in the booth.
AR here, don't make a mistake. You got them all the way down to the red zone, so you know you can run.
No drop back looking to pass. He's got a completion out to his tight end. Last time he missed that, but he does connect for a gain of 4.
There's a guy that you want to get involved in this game. It is him right there, Tyler Wembley. He had 11 catches for 109 yards a week ago. This is AR's favorite guy to go to in the passing game.
And Tyler Wembley, there's a couple generics that do have to get their faces changed. Just going to put that out there. That'll most likely happen next week. Here's a throw over the middle, hits the slant, and a touchdown saving tackle, because if he had broke off, Ladarius Woodard would have been gone.
That Florida speed that we all know about was able to beat his man on the slant, give him about 7 yards, of space there to just let him just have an easy first.
Gun bunch. And they'll run with Streets, who will cut back into Papo and will be down at the 45.
I want to see Florida take some more shots down the field as well. We've only seen them do it once this whole entire game. I kind of want to see Florida at least try to take a shot down a field to keep this defense honest.
Another factor, once again, we've talked about it throughout the game, that could be hindering them from making that decision is just simply the rain aspect. They probably don't want to be taking those shots down just yet, but I'm sure at some point they might try to set something up with some play action. They ran a few play actions couple drives ago. Here's a run to the outside. Papo, man, he sniffs that out like a dog. 3rd and 12.
Yeah, this is Auburn's guy right here on the defensive side of the ball. Number 0, Agent 0 on the Auburn defense. I don't think he got touched on that play, and he was able to get free and make the tackle. Well, pretty good play there.
Yeah, he led the team in tackles a week ago with 12, and he's just all over the place. You can see there, got the interception earlier to end the drive that could have gave Florida a lead, and he tried to go for it. Richardson misses underneath on the drag, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Now, this is what Auburn is going to need Florida to be in the whole entire game. 3rd and longs. Keep them out of those 3rd and short situations. This was a pretty good drive for the Auburn defense there, as they did not allow Florida to really get anything going.
Bomb this one straight down the middle of the field off the punt. And special teams rocks them, as we still have no points scored here in the second quarter. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, and a look at how Dom Beck has performed as opposed to last week. This has been very well.
Yeah, what a bounce back game so far for Dom Beck. I know we were saying that we don't want to see the ball in his hands compared to Spears, but he has answered right back And a pretty impressive showing.
Shotgun for Beck. He's got a slot receiver out to the right. Pressure is coming as he tries to set up the screen to Spears, but it will only result in a loss of yardage. They'll lose 3.
Yeah, Florida was all over that. They were not going to let that screen go, as that's Chamberlain with the tackle there. Pretty good job by the Florida D and for sniffing that screen out. Replays, man.
Yeah, killing the replays. At least next week it's going to be at Alabama, Bryant-Denny Stadium. You got to worry about that. It's second. I said next week, tomorrow, excuse me. 2nd and 13. They're setting up a wide receiver screen. Saw it work beautifully for Florida, but not going to work for Auburn. So it'll be more yards in the backfield.
Auburn just tried to do whatever you can do, I can do better, and we just saw that Auburn does not do a wide receiver screen better than them. So I would not want them to go back to that play.
They're trying to run the football, just pretty much forfeiting the drive. They'll punt it away, and a minute and 45 seconds left. Of course, we'll lose some time off of this punt, but Florida's got decent amount of time here to try to take the lead before half.
Not only that, they also get the ball back to start the second half as well. You would think that they have to get some points on this board going to half, as they also get the ball to start the next half. So if I'm Florida here, I want 6.
Yeah, even if you get 3, knowing you get that ball back to definitely take the lead, that's great. But yeah, definitely 6 is on this team's mind. AR last couple of drives has struggled a bit, missed some passes. We'll see if he gets it together here. Pretty much at midfield. Check down seems to be there, but he's going to be sacked on the play. Auburn turning up the heat, and that is Harris for a loss of 8.
Yeah, just couldn't find anyone open there. He just stood there tall, and kind of surprised that he stood there and took the sack. You know, knowing of what AR can do, I was very shocked to not see him start to run out.
2nd and 18. He's going to run this time, though. And he's got all kinds of space. Runs through the defense, and there he goes. First down, Gators.
Oh, my goodness. This is what AR does, ladies and gentlemen. This is what his game is all about. He may have lost 8 yards there, but he gains 20 yards back on that run, as he just takes advantage of the defense playing deep and just, hey, if you're going to give me all of that space, I am going.
He is just a freak of an athlete at the quarterback position when it comes to taking off. And he's got a gun on him, too. He will complete this one out on the drag. And a good job getting out of bounds to stop the clock as well by Amos.
Yeah, if I'm Florida, you only have 1 timeout left. I don't want to use any of those if I'm the Florida Gate.
56 seconds remaining in the game. No, in the first half. 2nd and 4 here.
If I'm Auburn here, what do you think is the play?
Try to make sure you got a spy at all times. Here's some pressure, though. Throws it up, and it's going to be played perfectly incomplete as it's swatted away 3rd and 4.
As we saw there, Florida finally decides to take a shot downfield, but he underthrows him there. He had the guy beat, too, but just underthrows the pass, as that was pretty good coverage there by the defensive back.
3rd and 4 now for Richardson as he'll look to pass. Will throw this one somewhere, but it's not going to be to a wide receiver. 4th down.
Yeah, you really don't know what you're going to get. Yep. You don't really know what you're going to get out of AR when he throws the ball, too. So it's not like he's like a guaranteed, going to complete that pass.
There goes the kick. And it is well short. Florida still going to trail more than likely before the end of this half. Auburn going to have some good field position.
This is a chance, though, for Auburn. This is a chance for them to maybe put some points on the board and make that lead up to 7.
We'll trot out onto the field. Of course, first down, stop the clock in college, so 40-something seconds on the clock. That's a lot of time.
Yeah, they still got plenty of time. Also, 3 timeouts for him as well. If I'm Auburn here, I do not want to play conservative.
We'll see what the approach will be here for the Tigers. Going up under center, bunch to the left. And he'll strike over the middle and get a first down. Schenker right there.
Just keep driving down the field, and this is also Dom Beck's guy.
14 receptions and 115 yards for him in that loss last week, but he definitely contributed in a major way. Not much in this first half, though, for the Tigers. Well, he's going to go towards him on this play here, but that's off the mark.
Had him wide open, too. Would have liked to have that pass, just at least catchable, at least for him to make a catch. He was just sitting there wide open.
Missed opportunity there. It is raining hard.
I've never seen rain like this.
And here goes another shot. Dom Beck scored last time. That's going to be in a double coverage, however. Much better defense. Third down.
Yeah, that was just, hey, let me just take a shot and see if my guy can get up there and make a play. Unfortunately, the defensive back, better play there, was able to break that pass up. I think that was Reggie Beckett on the coverage there.
Generic prospect as well. 3rd and 10. Just a check down to Spears. And he tight ropes it, but not going to be able to get the first down. He'll be knocked out 5 yards short. 4th down. They'll force a punt.
Hey, it was a good try from Auburn, but you know what? They also succeeded in a goal by not turning the ball over there in good field position for Florida if they got that ball back. So, just go into the half and just take the lead and, come out swinging.
19 seconds here. I don't see Florida pulling off anything once they get the ball back to take the lead or anything on this play. There's a flag on the field, though. I think this is going to be on Florida. Holding. Receiving team there. Avery Helm.
Yeah, if I'm Florida, they ain't getting to half. Yep.
Yeah. Don't risk anything. Dry off a little bit in the locker room because I know it's mighty damp out there.
You would think that Florida would be used to this, knowing how much it rains there.
Yeah. 10 unanswered points when it was 7-0. And Auburn able to get that lead back as the clock winds down to 0 here. The first half is officially in the books. Get your threes in the chat. Third quarter coming up here soon. So Auburn with a 14-10 lead here. Pat, does that surprise you? Or what's your take so far for this first half?
I'm very shocked to see that Auburn, after having a dud of a game last week, they didn't score a single point in the first half a week ago, and they came out swinging on the very first play and was able to score. Florida was able to answer back and get on the board to make it 10-7, and then they got a key turnover by forcing a fumble on AR, and they were able to take advantage of that with a 1-yard touchdown pass. Very impressed by Dom Beck's poise in this game, not letting last week's game affect him too much, but I got to give some credit to the Auburn D. It's AR, he's been having himself, some pretty good runs, but those third downs, man, they have been killer. They were 3 for 8 on third downs a week ago, and that's what you want. You don't want Florida to get the first downs.
And this will be Florida with first possession in the second half, looking to try to take this lead, which eluded them a few times, as you mentioned, in the first. as the return unit will field this one at about the 8. Now on the left middle side of the field, he'll be down north of the 25-yard line, and Anthony Richardson will grace the field again with his offense. A look at how it's gone for him so far. I mean, ran in for a touchdown. That was great. Was able to give him the lead after a fumble, as you talked about, and ever since then, I mean, he's had some great runs as well, but the passing game has really looked rough for him here in the rain.
Yeah, and how big was that turnover in the end zone as well? They could have had the lead already in this game if it wasn't for that pick into double coverage.
And they'll line up with Richardson under center. Trips look in the boundary. And they'll go with a draw to Antoine Streets. This will be north of the 30.
If I'm Florida, I kind of want to put the ball more into Streets' hand. He hasn't gotten a lot of carries in this game, so in my opinion, this is kind of the game plan that I think that they would need to change, is maybe put the ball more into Streets' hand compared to AR's hand, as Auburn is expecting it more.
They'll drop back looking to pass here. 2nd and 6. That's a big catch. As he'll be Wembley hauling it in. First down, Gators.
Kind of surprised there. That was pretty tight coverage there, as he had a man right on top of him. Pretty impressed that AR was able to get that in there. He hasn't been able to make the easy throws, but was able to make a really good throw there.
1st and 10, they'll look to let him throw again, and he's got a man over the middle. Looks like he's starting to heat up as he finds Ladarius Woodard.
Yeah, if I'm Auburn, you need to slow it down here. Florida, pretty good drive to start the half. I'm pretty impressed there. Just a great route there by Ladarius.
They would have went on the dig, but of course we're not going to have the highlight to see it. Richardson with 2 big throws for first downs, back to back. Let's see if he can carry this momentum on to some points on the board. So he'll run it. And there it goes. Streets puts on a move too. First down, but there is a flag. And this more than likely coming back.
That's a killer.
Yeah, holding.
I was just saying, you want to give the ball to Streets a lot more, as we starting to see he's starting to heat up too, but that holding call, that's a drive killer right there, and almost like a momentum killer, as they just got a big first down and it's gone.
Just like that. 1st and 16, not the first down they wanted.
I don't think that scares AR at all.
And we'll see. Moving a little bit, takes off, and he gained majority of those yards back after a 13-yard scramble. 77 rushing yards for Richardson.
That's the 2nd time in this game where after a penalty that has pushed them back, he has come back and answered with a big run there from AR.
And we'll look to let him throw again, and he will take off again. Plants his foot, slows up a bit, and protects himself with a slide. First down, Gators.
Yeah, they weren't going to let that holding call kill their drive or momentum.
Again, Anthony Richardson getting it done with those legs. This is what's going to make this team very dangerous. And even though 14 points on the board so far, still not a lot of points. I mean, I think that the Florida Gators defense has done a fairly good job, because those first 2 scoring possessions were mainly off of the first possessions that Auburn had.
Really, Auburn was only really able to score was right after the AR fumble.
Yeah. And here's a throw as AR off the mark, had a wide open receiver, but just off to Brandon Hawkins.
It almost feels like the harder the throw is, he completes it, but if they're just like wide open there with no one around, he almost seems to misses them.
Yeah. Missed opportunity for sure there. Play action, Richardson throws an interception. What a play on the ball. Auburn will end another drive for the Gators with a turnover.
Big play there by Auburn as he was sitting on that route. That was a great play there by Jalen Sampson, who just let, was reading AR's eyes the whole entire time. And I mean, it's funny. I just said, you know, the harder the throw, it seems like the better, but not there. He took a gamble way too many times.
And Auburn still with the 4-point lead.
Auburn's, what a game. I'm pretty impressed with them after seeing how Florida played a week ago. This has been a very impressive showing by the Auburn Tigers, though, but really it's been the turnovers that has been allowing them to be in this game and have the lead.
Yeah, high snap, draw play here with Spears. It's going to grind out solid 5 to 6 yards there on the carry. So actually 4. Second down.
I know I was saying that Don Beck has had himself a game, but I feel like now with the rain and knowing you guys have the lead, I feel like this is the time that you really want to give these carries to Beck and call a lot more plays to let Don Beck just run north and south on this Florida defense.
Good defense right there. That's swatted away incomplete. Just like that, third down for Auburn.
Yeah, that was just a good coverage there by Avery Helm, who is just all over the wide receiver on that play.
3rd and 6, good shot block. Still got some time, checks it down, and Spears has got an Auburn first down.
What an impressive play by Spears. It's the key block to make sure that his man has all the time in the world so he could throw him the ball. That was pretty awesome play by Spears.
Unfortunately, hopefully we get a replay. Here we go. Yep. Got the chop block.
But we don't see the block, I think. We don't see the block. This man did it all himself to get the first down. What a great play there by Spears.
Excellent play. He wanted the ball bad.
Yeah, he did.
1st and 10. Don Beck rolls an interception right to the linebacker, and this is going to be a pick 6 to the 10-5. Touchdown, Gators. And man, there goes the sighting we saw from last week from Beck. 41-yard return there.
This is kind of what we were waiting for, to see if they put that ball too many times into Don Beck's hands and just makes a poor throw as Chamberlain was just sitting there waiting on it. Just say, hey, throw me the ball, as he was able to get that ball and take it all the way for the score. Had green grass in front of him. Oh, no, that wasn't Chamberlain. I thought it was 99. Stafford. It was Zach Stafford, the other generic play.
Yeah, that was a huge play right there. Defense will grab the lead for Florida. This extra point will put them up by a field goal. And, yeah, we've seen some big mistakes here in the rain. Interception straight to the linebacker. Saw Richardson do the same deal. He's been picked off twice.
So a fumble from him as well. So we've seen quite a bit of turnovers. But, hey, pretty impressive for Florida. You know, they've had 3 turnovers in this game, but now they have the lead with the 1 turnover that they were able to get.
Yeah, 3 turnovers, but 3-point lead. And Beck, you know, you just got to put that play behind you. And hopefully this doesn't mentally wear him down or make him make more mistakes or put too much pressure on himself throughout the remainder of the drives that he has throughout this game.
That was a killer for him for most of the Tennessee game, as it felt like any type of momentum that they were getting in that game, he would make an errant throw that would halt any progress that they were trying to make.
Yeah, so let's see if he gets any better. Started off a lot better than he did last week, but this is where we see just how battle-tested he will be for game number 2 and what the growth is looking like. As Beck, look at his numbers, 14-20, 137 yards, 2 touchdowns, and just came off with an interception and went the other way to give up the lead.
If I'm Auburn, you're kind of feeling like, hey, can we score on a drive that takes more than 1 play? So far, the only times that they've scored, just like we said, has been on 1-play drives. They need to get a good drive here.
Empty set. Wide open. Good tackle there. Schenker gets the reception, 8 yards.
I was finally able to hit his man there, but Chamberlain was able to not let to get any more yards to allow them to get the first. I kind of want to see them put the ball into Spears' hands here.
2nd and 2, and they will hand it off to Spears, and he will deliver a new set of downs.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do if you're the Auburn Tigers, especially when you're in those 2nd and short, 3rd and short manageable possessions. Just give it to Spears and let him go north.
3-point game, in Auburn able to move the chains the first time on this drive. Going to the flat shinker, straight out of bounds there, but no gain.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be another dink and dunk drive here. This is what they need to establish, you know, at least get some yards, but unfortunately they didn't get any yards there.
We'll see if they'll probably still try to mix in Spears. It's 2nd and 10, but we'll see. Bunch to the left. They will mix in Spears. Pitch to the left. Breaks a tackle. Gets a few yards back, but that's actually a solid gain there. 4 yards and 6 yards here on 3rd down.
Not a bad run, though, by Spears. We have seen too many times of the pitch play not really working well for a lot of teams, but they were able to make it work there, as Spears was able to find a lot of grass in front of the
sack on the play. That's Zach Stafford, who had the pick 6, and now he's got a sack. It's generic going off right now.
No one touched him at all. I don't think they were accounting for. Spears just misses the block completely.
Yeah, and that's looked like a delayed blitz. Sat there for a few seconds, or just a millisecond, till all the linemen were engaged, and then just shot straight through for the sack.
Yeah, if I'm Auburn, this is not what you want. You're going to need that ball back soon.
And this spun a little short. Oh, what a move. Get to the 39-yard line. Brandon Hawkins on the return. And like you said, this is not what Auburn wants, because we've seen some promising-looking drives from Anthony Richardson. Of course, some unfortunate turnovers. But if he can get it together right now and score a touchdown, I think that's going to put a lot of pressure on Auburn throughout this game.
It always feels like in every game there is a play that just rejuvenates a team and gets them that very fun feeling, and it feels like that pick 6 may have rejuvenated this Florida team.
That's not rejuvenating at all. False start.
Oh.
The offensive line going to lose them 5 yards.
I feel like I'm jinxing everything. Like, I'm like, hey, do this, and then they try to do it, and it doesn't work.
Now you know what it's like to be in the booth.
Well, that's not rejuvenating, but hey, after this is their 3rd penalty now, and the 2 times that we have seen it, AR has gone off for a very long run.
Let's see if their pattern continues. He will throw this one on the sidelines. He'll pick up 3.
2nd and 12, almost like another 2nd and 10 in a way. If I'm Florida, you're still like, you know what, we can still make a drive out of this even with the false start.
Yeah, I expect him probably to pass here.
Auburn, though, you just got to keep AR contained.
Yeah, heavy pressure. Throws. He's got a man, and Wembley stretches out for a first down. Yeah, they will give it to him. Great effort.
Very great effort there by Wembley. Got him on the out route on man coverage.
And then Florida's been really good off of penalties. Still scooping up those first downs, as you said. Richardson, and now he's out of there. And he's got a ton of space. A first down and then some. And slides from a whole pack of Tigers for a big Gators first down.
This is what you get for not having a spy on one of the best running cornerbacks in the college series. As you saw, every cornerback and linebacker was on a man. And it was also, I think, a blitz too, which just allowed AR to have all the space in the world to run free.
2nd consecutive week in which Richardson has rushed for over 100 yards. 13th carry. That was the 13th carry for him within this game. Richardson's going to check it down, had him wide open, but off the mark.
Yeah, that's one that AR is going to want back big time there. He had a man there and bunch of green grass. Would have been an easy first down on the play.
Still got a few more downs to try to get this first down there. About in field goal range, but they did miss from this distance. He's got a completion.
Yeah, Alex Payne, yeah.
Yep, reaching out to the 30. It's 3rd and 9 now.
Yeah, if I'm Florida, you want to, if you're trying to get a field goal in this game, Alex Payne, the longest that he has kicked so far is a 35-yarder, but he missed one from 50 yards a week ago. If I'm Florida, you don't want to really take any long field goals.
Here's a throw to the out route. Won't get the first down, but this should put them in range to get 3 on this drive.
As I just said, you know, he only kicked a 35-yarder a week ago. It looks like this will at least be north of 40.
Yeah, they at the 27-yard line, so if you add, that'll be 44 yards. And you know it's really bad if your kicker can't make anything from within the 30-yard line. So we'll see just how bad Larry Payne is. If that is the case, he got the leg for this, and he nails it with ease straight through the uprights. And they'll go up by 6, 20-14, Florida.
Well, Florida, we at least know that you can kick it from 40 yards, though. So pretty good kick there from Larry Payne. But if I'm Auburn, though, even though they were able to get 3, I think that is a win for the Auburn defense as they're still in this game. And, you know, if they score here, they will take the lead back.
Definitely agree there. Still entire quarter left to go. 3 minutes and 23 seconds in the third. This has been a great SEC matchup here.
Yeah, was not expecting this. We kind of think that maybe Florida was just going to start to run away with it a bit after how Auburn looked a week ago. But no, Auburn has kept it competitive, though. But I would like to see this Auburn team start to turn in some drives into scoring.
So it'll be first down and 10 for Don Beck and the guys again. Deficit has been extended just by 3 more points. Touchdown can get them right back on top. So no need to panic at all now. Still got that entire quarter left coming up here. And I think we still need to see a bit more of Spears getting these carries.
Yeah, I feel like you still need to mix in Spears. Do not run away from the running game, as I would say, because you're still in this game where you can run the ball. You don't have to throw it down every play yet.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to pass here on first down. Empty set after the motion. Beck's got a guy, and it's Schenker for a first down to the 40. Actually, it's not Schenker. It's Deal.
Was able to find a man there. Pretty good first play call there as he was just sitting there wide open on the hitch route. I believe that was a hitch route.
They're in the stick, and here goes a run with Spears to the outside. Sets up his block well, and a good open field tackle, but an even better first down run as he picks up 7.
Yeah, that was a pretty good run there from Spears. Just like I said, Auburn, you don't want to take the ball out of Spears' hands yet. You're not in that spot of where you feel like you need to throw it on every single down.
Run it again. Spears shaking off a guy, but the Florida Gators are there. Chamberlain with the final wrap-up. 1 yard picked up on the play. It's 3rd and 2.
Pretty good job, though, by Spears. That could have been a 3rd and 6, and now instead it's still a 3rd and 2. I still want to see them give it to Spears here on this drive, maybe on a halfback dive.
And they've been running quite a bit out of that bunch. Look. And they'll line up in a bunch again here. They will pass out of it. And that's a big-time catch by Johnson. First down, Tigers.
Pretty good play call there from Auburn as the man gave him a lot of space there to make the catch, but pretty good throw from Don Beck there. There was a lot of pressure coming from the interior of that line, and he was not afraid to get that ball off.
Beckett tried to pry Johnson away from the ball. Good strong hands in the weather conditions. It's not easy to catch the football in the rain, I'll tell you, especially with gloves. Realistically, most of these guys probably wouldn't even have them on. Double pump on the play action, throws, and good defense, incomplete.
Yeah, that was just great coverage there.
It's Holcomb who tried to get the ball out to.
I think you want to still just give the ball to Spears here. At least get them into like a 3rd and 4, a 3rd and 3.
And they'll go right back to Beck, though. Good protection. Throws. Good sideline catch. Holcomb will have a first down, his 5th grab of the game.
Yeah, the pocket was closing in on him a bit, but he still had all the time in the world to find his man, and that was a good catch there by TJ Holt in there.
Auburn getting something going here. Can they get points?
It's like we were saying, this is what they need. They can't just do it on one play drives. They need a drive to get points where they actually can get plays.
1 minute and 3 seconds left in the 3rd. Now, well under that. For acceleration. Here's a toss out to the right. Great blocks. There's a flag, though, as this will be coming back.
I feel like for Auburn, this is a drive killer because this isn't Florida, man. This isn't AR where, okay, it's 1st and 20. Let me just go out and get 20 yards on a run. I feel like for Auburn, this is the one thing you don't want.
And he's actually looked pretty good off of those bunch pitch plays. He's been getting some great blocks out there. And, of course, it's kind of hard to get a hold of guys on the blocks when it's raining and slippery out there. And that can result in a lot more penalties. There's a first down run with Spears, only going to give them back a yard out of 20 they need on these set of downs.
Yeah, there just wasn't any holes for him to run through there. It looks like he has some space to the outside, but I still feel like he still wouldn't have gotten a lot.
Back out in this bunch look. Gun with Beck. And he's got a wide open man, but a big hit right there taken by Holcomb. And that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. This is it. Put your 4s in the chat. 4th and final quarter is upon us. I want to ask you real quick, Pete Connor, are you looking at the Discord for the or are you looking at the YouTube?
I'm looking at both.
Probably want to look at the Discord.
Well, I'll explain to you right after this game.
Okay, guys. 3rd and 12. Underneath drag. Oh, what a move by Holcomb. And that won't be enough for a first down, but should put them in field goal range, just as Florida was able to get 3 on their last possession. 4th and 6.
And does that penalty has come back to bite them big time there?
Yeah, you add 10 yards, that's definitely a first down, so tough for Auburn.
They're going to kick a field goal here?
I think they take it. It's got a lot of time still left, so I would get 3 points just to make it close. But they are going to go for it, so apparently you must know something. There's a throw. Oh, he had a step inside, but it sails, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
Can't miss that. You can't miss that. He had the guy beat to there on the route inside, but instead he throws it just way off. That could have been a huge play to get them right there inside the 10. If I'm Auburn, I'm feeling like I just missed out an opportunity there.
And that's that 5-step post where if you snap that thing off, you get the timing right, it's almost impossible to cover. Made the right read, just couldn't get it there.
Now, Florida, this is a chance you want to get points here to kind of get this game away from Auburn.
And they will run it. And that is stuffed. Actually, we'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Thought he lost a yard there.
Just a great play from Leota there. He was able to snip that run out. Came in untouched. He was streets ahead of streets there.
Empty set, 2 tight ends. All to the left. Got a man open. Oh, ducks under the tackle, and that is a first down for Florida. Good explosion after that catch. That's his first catch, and Quan Merritt, generic tight end, moving the chains.
There's like 3 Auburn guys around him, too. If I'm Auburn, that's a missed opportunity there to not allow them to get the first. But what a great play there by the receiver as he was able to use his speed, get around them, and get the first.
That's a big boy tight end. He just ducks right under the arms. Keeps it going and just plants that foot. Excellent play. Richardson. He's got a completion. There's a flag. Obvious face mask penalty here.
Yeah, it feels like Auburn is starting to commit some mental mistakes here.
DJ James, the culprit. And tackle on 15 yards at the end of the play.
If I'm the Auburn defense, though, I can kind of feel like, you have been doing pretty much a lot of things right in this game. It's just the offense hasn't been able to reward them.
Yeah, this defense is really on both sides have been doing their thing. And again, I really do feel like, and this always seems to happen in the rain, very tough to get your offense to look as explosive as they are, in dry conditions. There's a run inside. 42 yards here for Streets. That's a good 4.2 yard per carry average for him. So he's getting it done with a few carries. That's his 14th carry. So he had one more carry than he had last week. Haven't really been utilizing him much in the ground game still, I'd say. But we'll go to him here off the draw, and that's going nowhere. Oh, I thought he got 14. Actually, that was his 10th. 11 carries.
Still pretty good play there by the defensive lineman. As that was, Jason Jones on the tackle there.
And I was just talking about how he had more carries, so he still has less carries than he had a week ago. And I guess when you got a quarterback doing all the running, you don't need your running back doing too much. But we haven't seen Richardson really get loose out the backfield for a couple of drives now.
It's been a while. They've kind of kept him contained and kind of been forcing AR to make a play with his arm.
It's 3rd and 9. Obviously, we'll look to pass to see if he uses his legs here. That he will. Trying to bounce outside, but they've got him contained, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, this is what you want to see is you're going to need your linebackers to be spying on this man, and you need linebackers with speed if you're going to want to contain a running cornerback that's as fast as Anthony Richardson. And Payne does not have the legs, so I think Florida's going to punt here.
Yeah, they definitely should. I got to play the bell as well. That counted as a sack for Auburn. And they're going to try the field goal kick here. Larry Payne is going to be well short. Turnover on downs.
Here comes the pain for the Florida Gator fans, man, as they're going to be like, why are they letting him kick that? He can't kick that far.
And another opportunity for the Auburn Tigers to track down the field. It's only been 10 points scored
I want to see what
half.
Dom Beck, I really want to see what Dom Beck is made of on this drive. You're in great field position here. This is a drive that I think this Auburn Tigers this offense needs.
8 minutes and 9 seconds left to go in this first week 2 matchup. We'll come out gun split backs. And good defense. That's incomplete.
Adam, too, would have been in a very nice 2nd and 3 there, but the defense was able to force a drop. I think that was Schnecker who dropped the ball there.
Yeah, Schenker's been pretty solid. Not as impactful as last week. The throw over the middle, that's swatted incomplete. Could have been intercepted. 3rd down.
Yeah, Auburn's getting away from their running game here but I feel like this is what Florida wants is make Dom Beck beat you. And so far he's been having trouble get any consistency going.
He'll go man-to-man, pressing up, and he's off the mark to Schenker underneath, 4th down.
Yeah, this is a wasted drive if I'm an Auburn fan. I feel like right after they miss a field goal, that's not what you want to see if you're an Auburn fan.
Quick 3 and out, all 3 incompletions. Exactly 8 minutes left to go in this ball game.
Yeah, and for Florida, I feel like this is where you really want to just mix up with Streets and AR to just run the ball and run some clock out.
Fair catch called, and there's a look at
Oh my gosh, we saw a fair
Streets.
catch.
Yeah. 11 carries, 40 yards for Streets. Like I said, this really is a point in which I do also agree they need to utilize him. Again, also to the college series fans out there, tomorrow we got some more RFL College Series action. Texas taking on Alabama at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Make sure you guys tune in for that for game number 2 of week 2 of the RFL College Series. But back out onto the field, Anthony Richardson going to be lined up under center, hit as he throws, and honestly that was good because if he had been accurate, I think that would have got picked off.
That would have been picked off, too, as that offensive lineman got blown up on the play as the defender had a straight run to him. Could have been a sack or a huge play there for the Auburn Tigers.
And the gun still looking to pass here. And he will run. They got the spy on him, and oh my goodness, sat him completely down.
Leota lays the wood there as he said, you are not going to be doing that anymore in this game.
Talk about making a statement. Wish they had a complete instant replay on that, man, but unfortunately we don't get it. But that was a kill shot by Leota.
He had a sack, too.
Yeah, he's been having quite the game for Auburn.
These are the 2 guys for Auburn, Papoli and Leonda. These are the 2 guys that are going to need to keep AR in check.
And here goes Richardson. Trotting. Guess he's gassed out there. He's got more rushing yards than he had last week, but hey, 4th down, they got to punt it.
Fatigue is starting to settle in too, but as you saw, it was a great idea to run, but he's out of gas.
Yeah, and maybe he got winded from that hit stick. Hit stick took the air out of him. Probably what it was.
Would have been an instant first because Leota got grabbed on the running back. He was manned up on the running back and gave AR all the room in the world to run.
Fair catch called here. And again, Auburn, multiple opportunities to potentially take the lead. They need a touchdown.
Yeah, if I'm the Auburn defense here, it's like, come on, offense, give us something. This defense has literally been doing everything that they can. What a game from TJ, though. 7 catches, 109 yards. He has been making huge plays today.
Yeah, he sure has. If I'm not mistaken, he might have been the guy who had that first catch of the game.
Yep, that was him.
Pressure coming immediately. Throws an interception. It's off the mark, and it's going to be another pick 6 thrown by Dom Beck. Touchdown, Florida. What a play by Pat Forney, the generic linebacker. That might seal things.
Auburn. I am sick right now for Auburn. He just misses the throw. He had a man wide open on the end route and just completely whiffs on the throw. You can't miss that.
And I wish they had the instant replay, but that all goes thanks to the pressure that he had off that edge. And a lot of quarterbacks miss and make those mistakes when you have that kind of pressure coming in. You got to force a throw, and especially under these conditions, you see how sloppy things can get. Another interception on the stat sheet. And right now, Florida going for 2. Anthony Richardson. He's out of there, and he's got it. 28-14.
Yeah, that was just kind of saw that one coming on a 2-point play. It just felt like AR was just going to take the ball in there. There was no pass ever going to be thrown.
And this guy puts his helmet on your chest. That's when you know it's over. He just ran right through that guy for the touchdown. No replay, but beautiful finish. And 2-score lead here for Florida, and the way things have been looking, I said it's only been 1-play scoring drives for Auburn in this game. They have not been able to get any other points.
Yeah, on any other drive that has more than 1 play, they've had to punt on every single drive. And if I'm this defense, man, I'm almost feeling deflated.
Hit stick. Now I think this team's fired up right now at this point after that play.
Whew. Well, Auburn, 6:21 left. You know, the game's not over yet, but it has that feeling that Florida's in control.
Yeah, definitely in control right now. But still a lot of time, like you said. Anything can happen, but they have to play fundamentally sound football and take care of the football. It's been just way too many turnovers once again. You know, in these conditions, we see a lot of those. Got to be careful. Don Beck got some heat coming. I think he's going to get sacked here. He is. Sack on the play. That's Dexter Sr., who will lose him 14 yards to bring up a 2nd and 24.
Yeah, that just kind of feel like the world was collapsing on Dom back there. It feels like everything for this Auburn offense that can go wrong is just going wrong.
Yeah, Florida might actually start to separate a lot now towards the later end of this game.
Yeah, their last 5 plays, it's been 3 incompletions, a pick 6, and a sack.
Definitely not a recipe for success there. So they haven't gained a single yard. This is the first yards that they've gained, which is 2 in the last 6 plays.
Yeah, that was just, hey, let's just get something here, just, you know, something positive to take out of this. But, hey, maybe this is where, you know, you get T.J. Holcomb down the field.
Down back, not striking down the field, doesn't have a completion on the sidelines. And that is well short of the first down. He hits Johnson.
I think that was a white flag throw there from Don Beck.
You know, 5 minutes and 2 seconds. I mean, I hope they punt it. They're going for it. Wow. They're going to go for it here. Got to take a shot down the field. He will. And oh my goodness, he had it in his hands for a second. But Shaker could not secure it as he hit the ground. And that is going to be a turnover on downs. Good defense here by Pat Forney.
We get a replay on this too.
Nice. Yo, he really had that though.
He did. It was in his hands. He got up there, tried to, went up there like a basketball player to get a rebound, but wasn't able to bring that ball down.
Yeah, almost KG'd that thing, but yeah, couldn't get it done. First and 10.
Just feels like for Auburn, when everything starts to go wrong for you, it just crumbles.
And they're still going to look to pass here. Richardson's going to throw him up the field. That's a completion. Out to Wembley, 8 yards.
Yeah, if I'm Auburn, you know, you got to feel like that their composure right now is just deflating. Like, it's just like we have tried everything we can in this game, and nothing has been going right.
2nd and 2. Richardson almost throws an interception. It's almost caught, too, at the same time. Don't understand why Florida is passing the football at this point. 3rd and 2 definitely should get this on the ground with streets.
Yeah, especially with 4:31, you feel like Florida should maybe run the ball more. And, you know, I mean, in my opinion, you have this game won. Just give the ball to Streets and just get those yards and burn that clock.
And they're going to pass, but it looks like it almost works out, as he'll be a yard or 2 short of the end zone. It's Brandon Hawkins hauling in his 3rd catch of the night.
Yeah, that was just an easy one. Slants on man coverage there, as any cornerback will tell you that's the hardest route to guard.
Yeah, and whole new set of downs. And I think this should be straight up. If you don't score, run, run, run.
Just give it to Streets or AR.
And the I formation. Definitely looking to run. Dive inside. Great blocks. Bounces outside. Walks in Touchdown, Florida. That's a great celebration. Hopefully we get an instant replay of that. That'll be some great photos.
Yep, and that's game right there.
Yeah, that more than likely will seal it.
Just a goal line offensive play call there, and of course
no
just
replay.
give it to your back.
That was a great celebration, too. I've never seen that animation actually.
I know.
That'd have been some
Neither have
fire
I.
flicks, man. Jumped on his lineman, put the fist in the air, man. That would have been a good end of the game photo. RIP to the picks. Here goes the extra point. It's up, and Florida will take a 21-point lead, 35-14 over the Auburn Tigers.
If I'm Auburn, on this drive, just pretty much, this game, 21 points, you're down by it. It now just feels like, let's just try to get something to take into next week's game because, the offense, besides the one play drives, just nothing has gone right for them at all. But if I'm on the defensive side, just, I wouldn't hang your head on. This is just tough.
Yeah. Definitely more than enough time to get some more points on the board here for Auburn to make this score look presentable, a little bit more presentable. Don't want to get skunked.
And you want to bring, any type of momentum that you can take that into next week's game against Iowa.
Yeah, and I honestly feel like, hey, you didn't establish the run game for a second consecutive week here. How about you just run the football right now? Hurry up, get out of here. See if you get that going. That needs to be a focal point at some point. Spears is not giving the opportunities like that again. Set up a screen, though. And he's able to break a tackle, almost gets the first down. This is just what this kid can do with the ball in his hands, man. Gotta give him the rock.
Yeah, if I'm Auburn, it's like, we kind of said it at the beginning of the game, Smitty, is that, kind of keep that ball out of Don Beck's hands too much and give the ball more to Spears. And, that's kind of something that this team is missing is, they're not allowing Spears to do what he's been known to do.
Yeah, slant route there, completed out to Johnson. Yeah, they got to let Spears get his opportunities, his touches in this offense. But again, it gets hard when you start to get down with those high volume amount of points, right? But at the same time, you had so many drives where you could have utilized him, and you just didn't. You kept trying to pass the football. Had a couple of productive plays, but for the most part, this is why the score is what it is right now.
Yeah. And as we were just saying, can we see Auburn, actually make a drive instead of relying on one play to score, and they haven't.
He's going to take a shot down the field, and that's just going to sail as double coverage was coming.
Just letting everyone know next week, Florida, we got Tennessee next week, and they have to be ready for that.
That's definitely going to be a game to watch for sure.
AR versus Tyon.
That's going to be fire. Down back. Throws this up. Underthrown. Good defense. Fourth down.
Yeah, I'd just say punt it here. Both of the picks that he's thrown have gone for pick sixes as well. That's just an absolute killer.
Yeah, you take 14 points off the board. This is a one-score game. And they're going for it here.
Might as well.
And tried to anticipate the route there. But it sails a little bit too far out ahead on the lead. And that's a turnover on downs. Trying to go to TJ Holcomb.
Just a rough game, man, for the Auburn offense. I feel like going into next week, yes, you have Iowa next week, but I still feel like even going into the Iowa game next week, you need to give that ball more to Spears.
Starting out not only in the season, but in the conference 0-2, and it's never good. Run inside with Streets, ball forward. 2 yards.
Man, Smitty, I mean, we haven't seen the Florida Gators doing well since CS1. I mean, just like you said, that was when Marquise Washington, he was able to get them to the playoffs. Obviously, they lost to Clemson in the national title game, but this team looks good.
It definitely does look pretty solid. And again, I've been talking about the rain quite a bit within this game because we know what happens in these conditions. I think both teams would be a lot more cleaner than what we saw had the conditions been a lot more drier and different. And so, even though just to see Florida still handle their business the way that they did in these conditions just lets me know that this team is even better in a sense than this. So who knows how far Anthony Richardson and these guys can go this year and how much of a push they can make even in the SEC. You might be seeing these guys potentially in the conference championship game.
Bunch of competitive teams in that conference too.
Oh, big hit. Crowd reaction there, 4th down. And Auburn will get one more opportunity.
Oh, we got to see Dom Beck again. Sorry, Dom. I'm sorry to the Auburn fans, man. It's been rough to watch, man. There's been so many times that they could have had this game, but hey, you got Iowa next week, so you have a chance next week to get things right.
And fair catch called at about the 11. Welcome their top receiver tonight, over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, 7 receptions. Still 39 seconds left here. Auburn more than likely just going to pass this time out.
Also, poor Christian Flash Williams, who I know is absolutely sick watching this game.
Why do you say that?
He was saying earlier that Christian Flash Williams is rolling in his grave, Smitty.
Oh. And he is hit as he throws. Nearly intercepted by Pat Foreman. 2nd down. And shout out to the guys in the chat that's saying good job here, Pecan, with the dual commentary, man. Once again, appreciate you hopping on with me with dual commentary. I will also have some other guys hopping on for some commentary. I know Pat in the works. Got Coach Dunn, so got a lot going on here. Flag on the play.
Really appreciate this opportunity, Smitty. This is really fun. There's something that I got to explain to the guys, in the Discord after the game, but I've had an absolute blast calling this game. The very first play was a touchdown pass, too, so it was awesome. But, hey, man, I just want to say congrats to this Florida Gators team, man. They are looking legit, and I can't wait to see them play against, the Tennessee Pioneers next week.
Yeah. And Mike Spears open on the play. We'll get the 1st down. A timeout called by Auburn. So expect some shots down the field, just trying to see if they can get 6.
Also, a tale of 2 halves for 2 games.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. They will say forward arm motion will mark that incomplete. We got murdered on that hit, though.
Yeah, for 2 weeks in a row, Smitty, Auburn, they didn't score in the first half, but scored in the second half. In this game, points in the first half, no points this half.
Here goes another shot down the field into the pile. Incomplete, 4 seconds. We'll probably just call one more Hail Mary and call it a game. Yeah, if you haven't already, man, make sure to smash that like button. Shout out to the RFL community guys who are still here. You got 44 live viewers who are watching this SEC matchup. Florida starting off the season 2-0. And avoids a sack momentarily, throws an interception just to mess up the totals even more. And that is going to be the end of the ball game. 35-14, the final. I'll play the bell there for that L. And then we'll go ahead and play some end of the game music here. Florida getting it done by 21 points, man, 35-14. Yeah, enjoyed calling this game with you guys, and of course with you, Pecan. Any thoughts, you want to give out before the end of this, before we sign off and show the stats?
Florida played a great defensive game there. AR didn't have to do everything in this game as the rest of the team was able to back him up. If I'm Auburn, though, this is tough. It feels like they had so many times to get back in this game, and they just couldn't convert on it. And, just get ready for Iowa. Florida 2-0, and now they get to go into a big game against Tennessee. 2-0, man. Haven't been that way for them in a long time.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting. Potentially, of course, Tennessee, the favorites to win this week as well. Battle two undefeated SEC teams in that matchup. Definitely going to be one to look forward to. Auburn, though, 0-2, a really rough start for them. Iowa next week, as Pecan alluded to, should be a bounce-back game for them. But make sure you guys tune in tomorrow for this matchup, as Alabama, another SEC team, will host a Big 12 team, and that'll be Texas. So make sure you guys go ahead and show your support. Again, hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell to be notified every time we go live for a game such as this. And with that being said, that's it for you boys. Smitty, RFL commissioner and play-by-play commentator, along with Pecan, man. And we'll see him in the booth plenty more times. Until next time, peace.